God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures after their kind, cattle, creeping things, and animals of the earth after their kind," and it was so. Genesis 1 verse 24 describes God's command for the earth to bring forth various categories of living creatures, including cattle, creeping things, and animals of the earth, each according to its kind. Let's provide a detailed explanation of this verse in English. God's creative command. The verse begins with God's directive for the earth to bring forth living creatures after their kind. This command underscores God's sovereignty and creative power over the natural world. By speaking creation into existence, God demonstrates His authority and ability to bring forth life according to His divine plan and purpose. Variety of living creatures. God specifies 3 categories of living creatures: cattle, creeping things, and animals of the earth. This encompasses a wide range of terrestrial organisms, including domesticated animals, small mammals, reptiles, insects, and other terrestrial vertebrates and invertebrates. Each category represents a distinct group of organisms with unique characteristics and ecological roles. Reproduction according to kind. God's command emphasizes the principle of reproduction according to kind, wherein each species produces offspring of its own kind. This principle ensures the preservation of species integrity and genetic diversity within the created order. It reflects God's design for the continuity and sustainability of life on Earth through the propagation of diverse life forms. Natural processes. God's command for the earth to bring forth living creatures highlights the role of natural processes in the creation of life. While God initiates and oversees the creative process, He also employs natural mechanisms and processes to bring about His desired outcomes. The earth serves as the medium through which life emerges and flourishes, reflecting God's wisdom in orchestrating the intricate workings of the natural world. Immediate fulfillment. The verse concludes with the statement, "And it was so," indicating the immediate fulfillment of God's command. Just as with previous acts of creation, God's spoken word brings about instantaneous results, demonstrating His omnipotent power and the responsiveness of creation to His divine will. This affirmation underscores the certainty and effectiveness of God's creative decrees. Order and design. The formation of living creatures according to their kinds reflects the order and design inherent in God's creation. Each species is uniquely adapted to its environment and fulfills specific ecological functions within the broader ecosystem. God's command ensures the harmonious coexistence and interdependence of different life forms, contributing to the overall balance and sustainability of the created world. Stewardship responsibility. Genesis 1 verse 24 also underscores humanity's role as stewards of God's creation. As caretakers of the earth, humans are called to recognize and appreciate the diversity of life forms created by God. This includes responsible stewardship practices aimed at preserving biodiversity, conserving habitats, and safeguarding the well-being of all living creatures. In summary, Genesis 1 verse 24 depicts God's command for the earth to bring forth various categories of living creatures, emphasizing reproduction according to kind and the immediate fulfillment of God's creative decrees. It highlights the diversity, order, and design inherent in God's creation, while also emphasizing humanity's responsibility as stewards of the natural world. Cattle. The mention of cattle refers to domesticated animals used for various purposes such as labor, food, and resources. This category includes animals like cows, oxen, sheep, goats, and other livestock that have been traditionally raised and managed by humans for agricultural and economic purposes. God's command for the earth to bring forth cattle underscores His provision for human needs and the symbiotic relationship between humans and domesticated animals. Creeping things. The term creeping things encompasses a broad range of terrestrial organisms that move close to the ground or have a crawling or slithering locomotion. This category includes reptiles, amphibians, insects, arachnids, and other small creatures that play diverse ecological roles. God's command for the earth to bring forth creeping things highlights the biodiversity and ecological complexity present within terrestrial ecosystems, demonstrating God's creative diversity and attention to detail. Animals of the earth. the category of animals of the earth encompasses a wide variety of terrestrial mammals, excluding domesticated livestock like cattle. This includes wild animals such as lions, elephants, bears, deer, wolves, and countless other species that inhabit diverse terrestrial habitats. God's command for the earth to bring forth animals of the earth reflects his intention for a rich and diverse array of terrestrial life forms, each fulfilling its unique ecological niche within the created order. Adaptation and survival strategies. The formation of living creatures according to their kinds underscores the adaptive strategies and survival mechanisms inherent in God's design. Each species is uniquely adapted to its environment, possessing physical, behavioral, and physiological characteristics that enable it to thrive and reproduce. God's command ensures the continuation of life through natural processes of adaptation, reproduction, and ecological interdependence. Sustainability and balance. The diversity and abundance of living creatures reflect God's wisdom in creating balanced and sustainable ecosystems. Each species contributes to the overall stability and functioning of the ecosystem, playing specific roles in nutrient cycling, food webs, and ecological dynamics. God's command for the earth to bring forth living creatures underscores his desire for harmony and balance within the natural world, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all living beings. In summary, Genesis 1 verse 24 emphasizes God's command for the earth to bring forth various categories of living creatures, including cattle, creeping things, and animals of the earth. It highlights the diversity, adaptation, and ecological roles of terrestrial organisms, reflecting God's wisdom and creativity in designing the intricate web of life on earth. This verse underscores humanity's role as stewards of God's creation and invites appreciation for the richness and diversity of the natural world.